What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Power of I Am. I am Eric. I am all that is. I am love. I am perfection. I am always chosen. I am everyone's top priority. No one is better than me. No one compares to me. Claim it. All right. So today is going to be the mother of all SP videos. I am just going to blurt out things off the top of my head. Some things might not be nice, but sometimes being nice doesn't get the job done, right? Okay, well, first, I'm going to read a success story that has nothing to do with SPs, but that's the whole point. Why, Eric? Why are you going to talk about something that has nothing to do with SPs on the mother of all SP videos? Because everything comes in the same way. Manifestation is being aware of the unseen in order to make it seen, in order for it to materialize. Okay? So, let me get that success really quick. Here it is. All right. Hey, you. I'm keeping it anonymous. I just wanted to share something with you. My 18-year-old nephew was shot in his chest a couple of weeks ago, and I got the call at work. My mom was telling me freaking the fuck out, but I remained calm. I stood in my power and I said, "He's okay." I went within and visualized him sitting up and talking to us in his hospital bed. Notice she immediately seeked the kingdom. I told myself that, by the way, this circumstance basically tops any SP one. I'm sorry. I told myself that the doctor will be saying how it's a miracle that he's alive. I never went against myself. Yes, anyone who speaks with me, if you get anything out of it, I always say, never speak or think against self, because it will be proven to you, especially if you have such belief in it. He had to have surgery to remove the bullet from his sternum. Somehow the bullet was stuck in his sternum, which blocked it from his heart. Something like that. Just exclamation marks. Like, it had punctured his lung. They had to drain blood from his lungs. Like, this is how serious of a wound. And he's a little guy. The doctor said he is the luckiest kid he's seen all year. Keep in mind, it's November. LOL. He told my mom he's a miracle, just like she imagined. My nephew is home playing his game with his siblings. He is a perfect, healthy, normal kid and is ready to make changes in his life. Everybody's just blown away that he's here, but not me. I know, capital, all capitalized, all caps. I know how this goes, and that is because of you, my friend. Thank you again for your teachings and guiding me to realize who the fuck I am. Sorry for this long post. It's not even long at all, my friend. I've kept this to myself and not shared with my family, but wanted to share this with someone who understands the power of I am. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I was going to share SP ones. I do have SP ones, like someone who's got two SPs, one after 28 years of not hearing from them. Wow, how'd that happen, Eric? Self. Another one was 13 years. How did that happen, Eric? Self. What else? The self that I speak of. The ultimate identity that allows you to have, be, and do anything you want. The identity that makes you magnetic as fuck. What else here? I also have someone on the members side who got the SP back after following what I said, and then got rid of them, and then another SP, and then another SP. She's like a super villain now of it for SPs because of how, Eric? Self. Okay. You know what? I don't need to share success stories. We just succeed here on this channel when you know who the fuck you are. Okay? All right. SPs. Now, You guys have to understand, everything comes from you. Everything is awareness, right? Absolutely everything. And who you are being. What are you aware of? You have to understand you are not. First of all, there's a few things you have to stop doing. A lot of it's the actions you're doing on the YouTube platform itself, on TikTok, on all these things. But I'll get to that later. But it's who you are being. Actually, you know what? Let me get to it now because I might forget. Because I feel like this is going to be the type of video where I keep jumping around um, and pointing out what everyone's doing wrong. This is a pointing out what everyone is doing wrong type of video. Um, Speaking of that, I am going to film kind of a part 2 to this. It's going to be in the member section. Is going to be called "You Are Always Right, They Are Always Wrong." So that's going to be a good one too. But here I'm just going to point out things that may be blind spots to a lot of you. I also have a blind spot video over there in the membership side, but this one's going to be more direct. So you want your SP back, right? And you come to the right place. You come to the right place for that. It's all who you are being, okay? But you have to understand the basics. Everything comes in the same way. You're not creating anything. So if you're clicking on videos that people are going to conform, that you're changing things, that that give the impression that if you do a magic trick, some woo-woo shit, and then if you actually stare at them, they're going to change before their eyes. If you do something and then go look out the window, if you do something and then message them to get a response, you're in the same place. You're still saying I don't have. You have to be the person. You have to already have it. I can quote scripture all day. You know, Mark 11:24. If there's any piece of scripture that you guys should pay attention to, it's Mark 11:24. Therefore, I tell you what you ask for in prayer, believe you've received it and it is yours. It doesn't say, it doesn't say, believe you receive is yours. It doesn't say, but if there's a third party, then I can't help you. It doesn't say, well, if they don't get back to you, then you're screwed. It doesn't say, well, if you feel like shit in the mornings and you're not getting it. No, it just says if you believed you received it and it is yours. And unfortunately, we're believing a lot of things all day. Unfortunately, we're praying all day. You are praying all day. Everything that comes out of your mouth, you're praying and you're believing it, right? So let me ask you, so now the basic is declare it to be done. You are it right now. You are that person who has it right now. You are selecting the version of you that is experiencing the version of them that you wish to experience, which means you can no longer be aware of the old version. I can't stress this enough. You cannot be aware of the old version. For those who've watched my Nightmare on SP Street video, there's going to be a quick refresher in here. Okay, but before I bring up the quick refresher, if any of you guys finish this video and then go click on a tarot reading, are you surprised? Do you just want to be like looking for content forever? Do you want to just keep saying I don't have what I want? Because you're giving your power outside of you. The number, besides the Mark 11:24, Christ also mentions in Scripture, you have no power. Nothing has power over me or authority over me unless granted to them from above. Which means your mind gives away your power. You give away your permission. You're I am. But who do you say that I am? What do you say that I am? You allow something outside of you to tell you what you are. You're giving your power away. So if you are in your end and you have SP right now and you selected that version of them and you are aware now that you are together right now, which means you can't be aware of the old, why are you picking a card? Why are you picking a card? Dora the Explorer moment. So you are the I am. You are supposed to know who you are. Did you hear about the gunshot wound success story? Okay. Did she go check out a tarot reading to see if her nephew would survive? Did she call up a psychic? Did she use the Aura app? And the Aura people, if you guys are watching, I'm not going to promote anything on my channel. I'm not going to sit here and talk about something that I don't believe in, just to cash in. I'm not going to waste my viewers' first 5 minutes. So anyone that wants me to promote things for them, it's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to promote for Timu. I'm not going to promote for Aura and Psychics and all this crap because it goes against what I teach. Makes no sense. Side note. But when you click on a tarot reading, you are saying, I need validation. I need something outside of me to make me feel good, like I'm in the right place. All the tarot reading is going to do is reflect your current state of awareness. That's why it will most likely always resonate with you. Right? It will always, most of the time, resonate with you. And then they give you a little prediction, and then you feel like, yeah, got this. Giving your power away. You decide. You're saying, I put it that way. Put it this way. If you have your SP now and it's been a month and everything is perfect, are you hitting on the tarot to hopefully find out that the caption says they're coming in now? Are you're clicking on it? Would you be clicking on it to find out if they're coming in if you're already with them? Probably not. It's little small things like that. After you get done with me, are you going to click on it, get it in 5 minutes, get a text in 5 minutes? If you're already in there, and a lot of people want marriage, wouldn't they be texting you already? Wouldn't they? Would you be aware that you haven't heard from them in a few weeks? Would you be aware they didn't get back to you? Would you be calling your friend and complaining that you haven't heard from them? Would you be aware of a third party? Would thoughts of the third party bother you if you're in your end? No, right? Okay, so now let's go back to a quick recap of Nightmare and SP Street. So the way people work, my friends, is everyone reflects your self-concept. That's why I teach that. If you want to know about the self-concept a little more, watch my other videos, especially Villain Mode Part 2. I did have a Villain Mode success, but I just want to get to the point. People reflect who you are being. And also, what you think is going on, they must prove you right. Because there's only now that power within you is like, yes, I must prove you right. So you meet someone, right? Remember, I'm just doing this to show you how everything's coming from you. You meet someone, and Bobby meets Sue or Sue meets Bobby, doesn't matter. And it's all great in the beginning, right? The collective belief on its own is, honeymoon phase. So we kind of expect everything to be great in the beginning anyway, by default. So you meet, it's great. You want them even more because they're brand spanking new. The lust is there, the cravings are there. So they mirror that back to you because they have to, because it's you. And then it's great. But then you get in your mind and you wonder if there's something wrong with them. Or you start, maybe you developed, you remember patterns from past relationships, which I'll get to in a second. So you have a certain collective belief about men in general, or women in general, especially if you think, all women are like bad boys, all women like bad boys, and you identify as a nice guy. What do you expect? But anyway, you wonder if something's wrong with them. So then they have to prove that to you because you're always being listened to, where you dwell on what you are aware of, unseen, right? This is a perfect example of being aware of something unseen that there's no evidence of it yet, but you're like, there's got to be something wrong with them. Let me check their socials. Let me check some. Let me see if they're talking to any other girls, following other girls. Let me check those girls. Let me see if those girls have pictures of them. Let me see if they're liking photos. Let me see what comments they've left. Right. So then, that power within you is like, okay, there's only that now moment. Okay, your wishes might command. Wizard. Now, new SP comes in with new behavior change. And you notice, and remember, you are always right. Stay tuned for that on the member side. You are always right. Right? You are always right. So now you notice this behavior change, and then you react to it. So when you react to it, something outside of you, you're saying that's true about me right now. So then that power within you is like, okay, we got to give her more. Okay, more and more. Whatever's outside of you is outside's always changing. When you react to it, you anchor it down and you experience more of it. Again, like the recycling bin logo, another video of mine. Right? You anchor it and it stays. And then I knew it. I was right. You're always right. So then it gets worse and worse because you saw something now with your eyes. Now you have proof. The human nature of us is seeing it to believe it. And then eventually it gets worse and worse. Then you start thinking possibly there's got to be another girl. And then all of a sudden you keep saying that. You wish it might come in. Third party shows up. And then now you created a horror story. So basically now you saw how that worked, right? You created something you were unaware of. I mean, you were aware of, but unseen, not unaware of. Aware of. Now, all you have to do, you basically selected that version of it. All you have to do now is be aware of the version you wish to experience again, right? Again, gunshot wound. She was aware that he was a miracle before he was. Didn't take no for an answer, didn't take circumstance for an answer, didn't react to the outside, knew who she was. Everything is the same. And if someone can do that for gunshot wound, I think you can do that for some guy or some girl that you want in your life, right? So now you have to be aware of the version of them that you wish to experience. But that also means you can't be aware of what the version of you that doesn't have them would be aware of, right? You can't be aware of bad memories. Nope. Oh, I remember when they fucking left and didn't come home. Okay, so you put that in your now moment. That is now attached to that version of them. You can't sit there and affirm all day, affirm all fucking day, and then 2 hours later be aware that they left you and didn't come back that night, because now you're aware of two versions of people. And just like that's the same as being aware of two different versions of self as well, because that version that you keep remembering incorrectly and putting in your now moment is tied to the version of them that doesn't want you, right? Awareness. People who want to affirm all day long and saturate your mind. Now, here's the difference when I talk about saturation. Yes, saturation of mind. My definition of saturation of mind is I just think and am aware of what I wish to experience all day, no matter what I see. Like the woman with that success story. I see what I want to see. I am always right. I am always right. The outside's always wrong. I am always right. So whenever it comes to my mind, I say how it is. Remind myself who the fuck I am. Tell myself I love how they're this way with me. I love how it's always this way. I love how this way. I love this way. I'm so grateful. Everything. I have everything now. Boom, 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 boom. I just think as that person. I live in the present moment. Right? Self-concept. Bring myself up. Right? There's a reason they fucking want me. Because I'm all that is. I'm love. I'm perfection. I'm always chosen. I'm everyone's top priority. No one is better than me. No one compares to me. So of course, I'm magnetic as fuck, like flies to shit. And of course they're going to come in. Right? I'm not aware of the old story anymore. If there's anything, you don't let go. People are like, oh, you got to let go. Let go of the old story. You're supposed to let go of the bullshit. You're supposed to let go of the old version of them. But every time you react to anything that's tied to that version, you keep it alive. Like Christ says in the Gospel of Thomas, you're keeping the dead alive. You're not allowing the heavens to collapse in your favor. You're speaking against yourself. You're thinking against yourself. You're being aware of the unseen not in your favor. And it comes down to this, guys. Do you have full faith in your imaginal acts? Do you understand that imagination selects your reality? If you guys don't accept that, you're wasting your time. Because a lot of you will imagine to get something. You've been doing it your whole life. Worry, doubting, fear, crying, bitching, moaning, those are imaginal acts. And 99% of the time, you can't see what you're bitching about. So therefore, they show up because you're not attached to those negative things, right? You don't want those negative things. Therefore, you're completely detached, but you accept them as true. Don't ask me why. And then boom, they come in. Perfect execution. If you do not accept that imagination selects your reality. I mean, you've been proving your life. Look, I gave the example with Nightmare on SP Street, Freddy Krueger, the success stories I've always had in this channel. People who've worked with me, people in the comments that get it, they understand it, that they're the center of everything. If you're the center of everything, nothing outside of you has power over you, like a tarot reader telling you when it's going to happen. No, you decide when it's going to happen. You decide. I tell people, before you do anything, you decide how it's going to go. And if it doesn't, your eyes tell you it didn't happen, your mindset tells you it did anyway. And then you do it again, and eventually things go in your favor all the time. So, full acceptance that your imagination selects reality. If you cannot accept that, that means you don't have belief in it. You're doing it to see, to make something happen. You're the identity that doesn't trust it, but you only trust the negative aspects of things. Right? So, now, you can sit there and saturate your mind like a psychopath, right? You can take one of these challenges that are going out there. That happens I feel like every few months. We got super moons. We got fucking next best Lionsgate portals. We got winter arcs. We got God arcs. We got fucking, I don't know, some TikTok challenges. Now, that's cool if it gets you motivated to do it, but that's not what powers you. Nothing has power over me that's granted to them from above. You have to understand you're it. Mark 11:24 doesn't say, believed you received it and it'll be yours, but it works better during winter arc, or it works better during winter solstice, or it works better during a fucking Rhino Gate portal, the new moon on the 30th. Do you realize you are everything? Do you realize you're the fucking moon? Do you realize everything is coming from you? Every time you put your power outside of you, you make yourself weaker. You make yourself attached to something outside of you, so you're not in your true nature. And then you can get something, but then what happens when the portal's done? Oh no, I'm weak again. Now I gotta wait another fucking year. Right? You don't need a portal to get anything, to get an SP. You don't need a winter arc. You don't need a God arc. You are God. Can you imagine? Look at this. Your Christ awareness is your imagination, right? So if you don't believe in your imaginal acts, and you don't believe that you are one with the I am, that you are God. And I see a lot of people say, I am God, and then they question, like, is this even possible? Can you imagine going up to God himself and saying, it's getting cold out, by the way. Shit, getting cold. And say, hey, I know, let there be light, and you created man in your image, and, the mountains, the sea. I know you've done all those things, but I don't think it's possible I can get the SP back. Is it possible? Is it possible that I can get a text in 5 minutes? Right? Can you imagine? Like, think before you ask certain questions. Can you imagine if you asked God that question? What he would? God would be drinking his little coffee, almost spit it out, and just stand up and just leave. Wouldn't even say anything. And that's why you're not receiving your manifestations, because you don't trust in what you see in your mind. All you have to do is trust what you see and hear the same way you trust the negative side, the logic. There's no logic to this shit. You select the version of them. You accept it to be done now. You have faith and trust. You get out of the fucking way. You don't click on another video to get it in 5 minutes, because that's saying I don't have trusted that. There must be something missing. I don't have it. You have to be the person. You have to be aware. All of a sudden you're aware that you haven't heard from them. Oh my God, they've heard from me all the time. That's all you got to do. Oh my God, I've heard, I can't even speak. I've heard from them all fucking day long. They need to get a fucking life. I wish I could kiss them. Okay. Boom. Just kiss them in my mind. Right? I don't care if they walk by, like my old video, doing a cartwheel, holding a sign saying, fuck you. In my mind, they walked up to me, gave me a big hug, and said, I'm so fucking obsessed with you. And I'm like, I know. Because again, look how you created the monster, how you selected the monster. I bet you had such a nice romantic evening, but a part of you was like, oh, this was so good, something's got to be wrong. So instead of, you revised a great person, you revised it in your mind that there's got to be something wrong. And then you got it, full unbelief. You persisted in that. You had discipline in that. And then it popped up and you were shocked. But then you don't trust when it's in your favor. You need a tarot reading? Did you need a tarot reading to find out how much someone sucked? Did you need I don't know, aura apps? Did you need to keep checking for the next best technique? Did you need anything for anything against yourself? No, you accepted it. It comes down to not trusting yourself. It comes down to, who am I being? Ask yourself every time you're wondering something. When you claim it to be done, that's all you got to do. I see it. You want it. You got it, pretty much, like that song, right? And you are always right. You are never wrong. So all you have to do is trust that it's done. So now I have what I want. I go about my day knowing it to be done. I must allow it to unfold to me. Now when I see anything else outside of me that's trying to tell me different, I see it from in here only. I give it the meaning I want. It's like a video game. I could either call it perfect. I could say it's all unfolding perfectly for me. I can give it good meaning. I can revise it, or I can just say it how it is. I can do imaginal scenes where they're worshiping me. When I'm Adonis on the throne, I could do all these things. And I make sure I fall asleep as that identity, and I'm golden. And I don't give no fucks, because the more I build myself up, the less I care, because I am the prize. You are the prize. You think God's trying to impress someone? Do you think God needs someone's validation? Do you think God needs something to feel love when He is love, when we are love itself? You think that? No one, you can't have anything, receive anything you're not the source of. So if you're looking out there for validation, that means it's empty in you, and it's going to be empty in them for you. That's the gist of it. So you do that by building yourself up. Now, if you are aware of certain patterns in your life, right? People leaving you, trauma or anything like that, and you're noticing that with your SPs, then you need to go back and forgive from the I am, and put pride aside and select a new past. When you select that new past, that forgives you of that energy that you're carrying with you in your now moment, because the now moment is all you have. That's how you heal it. So if you're used to men ghosting you, and it's in the back of your mind that they ghost you, you go back to the very first person that ever ghosted you. Only if you keep remembering it or aware of it. All these men leave me. All these men leave me. Well, now no, they've never left you, or these girls have never left you. In fact, it's always been perfect. All these girls have always been obsessed with you. All these people have always been dying to put rings on your fingers, because you're all that is, right? Now, these people that have hurt you in the past, they were just reflecting you. They are you. Or that you've inherited a belief from a collective, or from the friends and family that raised you. And you took that with you. So now you have the ability to go back, because every time you remember something, you're putting it in your now. Everything's happening all at once. You carry that energy, the more you're aware of it, right? So you go back, you forgive, you see them as perfect, makes you perfect, gets rid of the energy that's blocking you, and you go about your day. All right. Actually, I think this was a pretty nice one. I stayed calm in this. I think it's because it's cold out. Well, I'm proud of myself. But you want the SP, guys? You can't be aware of what you'd be aware of if you didn't have them. You can't be aware of the other version. Just like you can't serve two masters. You can't be fucking with two different SPs at the same time. The same person can't be two different people at once. So make a decision that they're perfect right now, that you have that perfect version of them right now. Let go of the old story. Don't let go of your desire. Have faith and trust that your imaginal acts, your imagination, is the root of your experience. Accept it, because if you don't, it's never going to come in. All right, guys, you want to work with me? Links in the description. Want to join the membership? In the description. Hope you guys have a great day. If not, I'll just assume it to be great anyway.